Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Shit get crucial.
I'm about to start this in a minute. Let me know if y'all can hear me. All right, appreciate that. After this one, we're gonna get into it. Yup, I made that beat right there. All right. I ain't woke them up. Y'all know what it is, man. All right. Let's go ahead and stop that. I don't give a damn how much people in here. All right. We got to get to this. This is a live that I don't know if y'all know who Infinite Waters is, but I definitely made a comment on this shit saying that I'm about to do a live about what he did because he got a pretty good template about this movie called Sinners. And he said, go ahead and do it. So I'm really glad to do that. And yeah, Peasy, if you making a video game or something, you definitely got to put me in it for that. Cause I don't do nothing else but talk about the Matrix and all that type of shit. All right. So yeah, that's cool. Salute. Let me shout out everybody in here real quick. Blue Dream, what up? Tough Steno. Yeah, now I know y'all ain't heard of Steno in a couple years now, because we had a fallout like in 2021, but you already know, like, Crucial 13 is real. Crucial 13 don't hold grudges, or he don't, let old shit control his life. You know what I mean? And neither do people like Steno. So, we all good now. Salute to him. Beat Facts, shout out to you. Bro, Beat Facts, you be talking some real shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I heard you was going in on Yo-Yo, man. That shit, and you could be mean or whatever. It do be kind of mean, but I used to be like that too. So probably still am. But if it's real, dog. So, I definitely was fucking with that. Agent 48. I'm not recognizing the name right there, but you talking about it's all entertainment. I know you fuck with me then. Peasy, salute, what up? He got the game or whatever. Dude said. But all right, hold on. Let me get this screen share real quick. And the replay value on this gonna be crazy. So, just I don't know if y'all heard the turn that shit off. I don't know if y'all heard the or seen the movie Sinners. Okay. Stop the screen. If y'all seen the movie Sinners, all right, it's got a lot of gems in it. Hold up, my fault. I'm trying to do this right now. Okay, right here. Share that. Let's just start real quick because he got the template that I could freestyle off of.
To all of you. So let's talk about this movie, Deep Divers. Sinners, which is a phenomenal movie. Shout out to Ryan Coogler, the director, and shout out to all the cast. All the actors in it were great. Michael B. Jordan, phenomenal actor, playing the twins.
Oh, this movie is cold. And Agent 48, I don't know, was you named something else? If you probably was named something else, or you was from when this channel, before this channel got banned. I don't know if you know, this channel was taken down for like 3 years, and out of nowhere they just gave it back. Salute to Trump, So yeah, man, big salute to you for even coming back around. We trying to get back in the algorithm, because they snatched me out the algorithm when I was defending Trump about 3 years ago, along with a whole bunch of other channels. Just took them. They shut off all the notifications for everybody subscribed to me, and took me. It's called a shadow ban, and then eventually they just terminated the channel. You stupid fool. Okay, I do remember that. All right, yeah. I knew you had to change your name or something. So salute. Let's get into this.
Once again, amazing actor. He did a great job. And if you don't know what the film is about, it's really diving into these two twins. They come back from Chicago. They return back to Mississippi, and they got some vampires waiting for them, right? But there is a deep message in this film, a hidden message in this film. And, I wrote down there, Sinners was not just some random vampire flick. It was layered with deep hidden symbolism. Sinners was a documentary about what is happening before our very eyes today, before our very own eyes today. So you got to remind yourself, everything is subliminal messages. Hollywood don't spend thousands, millions of dollars for no reason. There's always a hidden meaning, and this was a phenomenal film. Which
now, yes, what he just said, Hollywood, they don't spend all this money on movies for no reason. Now, Hollywood first started, and I'm about to do a deep video on this shit, where we talk about how movies first started as propaganda during war times. Okay, that's why when I was saying the whole liberal agenda and all this stuff, the communist Marxist agenda and all this is nothing but a war tactic to demoralize the country, so that the people we're against, they pointing the fingers at all these other people, but the people we really fighting is inside the country. And I know people could say that like, oh yeah, that's some cool shit to say. No, they really are. Okay, so Hollywood started as a propaganda machine to turn countries against themselves, because they easier to. Now I don't care what YouTube's talking about, but it's easier to control a country that's fighting itself than to just go in there against motherfuckers that's waiting for you and ready to go to war. You know what I mean? So they had you fighting each other. But now some movies, they start off like that, but some people in the Matrix is here to help you too. So they'll put this shit in the movie. So you got a good side and a bad side to it.
Really had a lot of hidden meanings. C. Barrett's Empire creator, shout out to you. A few bucks for the treats for the cat down the road. Hey, the cat down the road needs some treats. Shout out to you. It was a great film. I saw it, and a lot of people were saying, hey, Ralph, what do you think about this? So, I've covered films like The Avatar. I've broken them down. So I said, hey, let me break down Sinners, right? So I don't want to give it away, but I'll tell you this. This film was not just about vampires. This film had so much deep symbolism, right? It's really talking about what's actually happening today, right? It's talking about what's happening today with so much conflict. That's why I always tell you, you got to remind yourself, deep divers, not everyone that's walking around is human. Some people are vampires. This was a metaphor. This film was a metaphor for that. There are some people in this world who are on demon time, right? Have you heard that expression? There are some people in this world who are on vampire time. And who is a vampire? We're not just talking about Count Dracula. We're talking about someone who cannot survive in the light, right? That's what a vampire is. And this is what Ryan Coogler was getting across to the audience, that a vampire is someone who cannot survive on the light, in the light. And
now, this is why I usually say in all my videos to try to learn what vibration and frequency is. Okay, which means like you start being a better person. So you have this light, because you all got a light, right? You got a soul. You're a solar being. You're a solar being. You got a soul. So a lot of y'all lights is dimmed by the matrix, which is what? Which is the food you eat, the drugs you take, the liquor you drink, the bad water that's poison, the fluoride, whatever. The stuff you watch, the Wi-Fi going on in the house or whatever. The people usually ain't getting, outside away from that matrix is got the low frequency and vibration. They're under the control of energy vampires. And energy vampire just ain't a cool spiritual thing to say, oh, that's my lower self, that's my shadow side. No, that's a real thing. These things is really, they in your house right now, just so you know, sitting right next to you, waiting for your ass to do something stupid. Okay, they want you to take a puff of that cigarette or whatever the fuck you do. They waiting.
there are many vampires walking amongst us today, right now as I'm speaking. There are many lost souls walking amongst us. And vampires exist. Vampires are real. Anytime you feel your energy getting drained, deep divers, you're probably around a vampire. But the truth is, the Matrix is the biggest vampire. And in this movie, a lot of people think because it was set in 1930, but then it goes back to 1992 at the end of the film, right? And it's showing you how people are being controlled by vampires in all areas of society, but especially in music. Especially in music. So when you take a look at, this is how the vampires come into your life, through music, right? So you got to remind yourself, there's a reason why the vampires came with the music. Because,
and it ain't just music. It's everything that's projected to you through a device. Okay, that's why I was trying to tell y'all, learn what frequency and vibration is. Frequency, why you think in the mute, you turn the radio, there's frequencies. Because they lower that frequency, that's where they could come in at. You don't just eat food and eat, your body, what you listen to is being fed as well. So they come through the TV, they come through the phone that you got, the music that you got. This movie was going real deep about that.
Because they know that this is how they can enter inside of you. So when you take a look around today's society, they get you through the music. There's a reason why the music industry spends hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hold up. Salute to Phoenix Gem, longtime supporter of the channel before it got taken down. So salute to you. This about to be a good one. All right. Salute.
Because it's all about programming people and making sure vampires can feast on you and they can infect you. And that's the reason why the film was all about music, right? And many times in the industry, someone offers you a deal. And that's what these people were doing when they were knocking on the house. They were saying, hey, we want to play some music for you. And it sounded fantastic. And what happens to a young artist who says, okay, I want to go to Hollywood. I want to be a superstar. I want to be an artist. I want to sing.
And one of the main people in the movie, I think name was Sammy. And he was like the symbolism for the light being. He had all the talent and everything. And the vampire told him at the end, he said, you're the one that's going to bring me more food. You're going to bring me more. So this like a Michael Jackson or something that could get the listeners to tune in. Now, Michael Jackson himself or whoever, whatever you want to, whatever singer you want to say, he ain't himself, you know, engineering this frequency into the music, but he could make a song, and the people that's, you know, ahead of the record labels and all that could send in these people to put a certain frequency in there that's gonna attract, you know, it's gonna tune it kind of low. So these things, whoever the fuck is listening to this music, and now all the music is terrible. They don't even got to sneak it in there. Now they just tell you in the song, kill somebody, and your ass love it. Okay, so they used this dude. They told him straight up, "Hey, you gonna bring me more food."
Someone says, "Hey, I've got the perfect tune for you. I've got the perfect beat for you. I've got the perfect production for you. All you got to do is let me in. Am I invited?" And a lot of people say, "Yes, come inside." And they don't realize that once the vampire comes inside, there's no going back. Once you've been bitten, there's no going back. Once you've sold your soul to the devil, there's no going back. Kanye West said, "I sold my soul to the devil for a crappy deal. At least it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal." That's what this film was all about. It was talking about how vampires actually exist in today's modern age. And anytime you feel like the energy is getting sucked out of you, that's because you're dealing with vampires. Obviously, this film had an element of race, which is important because it was set in the Deep South, Mississippi, 1930.
And I broke this down on my 2 center videos I made. Y'all want to check that shit out, put it on your watch later. We was talking about how the South ran by Democrats and all that, you know, when the KKK was actually Democrats. Okay. And then they switched the blame on the Republicans. But we went back to, we got to be careful with this too, but went back to Democrats. And a lot of the vampires in this movie was talking about how they were going to start a new clan under the name of love. So I made a reference to how the Democrat or the liberal started pushing this love movement. You got to love everything. And the most things they want you to love is some low vibrational, right? Who was the ones pushing the bathroom shit, pushing the reading hour shit, all that other type of stuff that we really can't get into? Because it wasn't Republicans, it wasn't Trump, it wasn't none of them pushing this nonsense. So when it goes back to me talking about low frequency and how these things can come in low vibrational things, you go and look back at these parties that's pushing the low vibrational things, which is helping open the door for these things to feed on people. So you think these people is your friends, but really they encouraging your low vibrational nature. Why is that? Oh, because these vampires need you to be low vibrational.
And even the guy who offered them the house, there was a catch. It was all a setup. And that's the thing. He told his son, the priest told his son, "Hey, be careful dancing with the devil." And a lot of people don't realize that this was also a metaphor, that a lot of people, they end up dancing with the devil. A lot of people, they end up not realizing that temptation, and like I said, temptation, it lives in the nighttime. Slow motion this side.
And look, I told y'all, what up, 1010, bro? I told y'all how to kill these temptations. See, a lot of y'all don't understand frequency vibration, so you don't know that temptation, B702, what up, fool? Yeah, we about to cook tonight. But temptation, how you get rid of that is raising your frequency. And if you don't know what frequency is, look at the chart. I should pull up a chart here in a second. Let me let him cook though, but I'm gonna pull up a chart and show y'all what frequency is. And I noticed for myself, what worked for me is the more I get away from toxic shit negative shit. Stop tuning into negative stuff. Stop hearing negative music, because I listened to some fucked up ass shit and I loved it. All type, dude, I'm telling you, violent music and all that other shit. I used to love that shit. I stopped listening to that. I stopped eating bullshit. I start drinking more better water, alkaline waters and all that type of stuff, spring water. I bought a water bottle that filters out the bad stuff in it while you drinking the water. It got a filter in it. You start doing this and raising your frequency, and then them temptational thoughts that tell you, hey, go out to the bar, go out to the club, call this person that you know is about to get you in trouble. Do this, smoke, drink, do whatever. Them thoughts don't even fuck with me now, because there was something living inside me due to what the fuck I was doing and how my vibration was that was tempting me into all this shit. And a lot of people don't believe in it, but this ain't for you then. You know, this for people that know, like, damn, I need a change. I need a, we call it a narrow path. When you stop giving yourself excuses. You start doing the right thing in life. You start confronting your demons. You start wondering, like, what the fuck? Why did I just do that? You ever did some fucked up shit? You like, why the fuck I just do that? Like, why? It's these things. So there is ways to cleanse them out.
Temptation lives in the nighttime, and that's what this film Sinners was all about. It was all about showing you how temptation, it lives in the nighttime. So anytime you want to remind yourself, always remind yourself of that. This is when the vampires come out at night. This is when the vampires come out. They come out at night because they know that this is when people are most vulnerable. So this film, which Ryan Coogler so brilliantly directed and wrote, was showing you how it's always at night when you have to be careful for vampires. It's always in the nighttime where you're going to get attacked. But once you're walking in the light, you're always going to be protected. And that's the reason why Ralph Smart Infinite Waters is still here after all these years.
Now, he ain't bullshitting, because what I also found is that the more you start being righteous, you start walking in that light, dude, God sends spirits down here, angels down here, whatever y'all want to call it, that's going to make sure you're okay. You're protected. But some of y'all think that you could praise God, but then act like a demon, and then you wonder why fucked up shit happened to you, because you got to be wholehearted. You can't serve two masters. Some of y'all want to serve two masters, so you wonder why like fucked up shit happened to you. Then you justify it like, well, the devil come at people who trying to be with God. No, the devil come at people who's vibrating low. Okay, now it could come at you, it could try to tempt you, but it's on you to answer to that temptation. That's how they can fuck with you after a while. But you start walking in that full way, man, I'm telling you. Now, hold up real quick. I want to just show this frequency chart, just so people understand what this is, because it's real important. A lot of people think it's evil and all that. I don't. This ain't for y'all. All right, hold up, because my thing acting weird. Dang, let me scroll up. All right, hold up, dude. Let me just hit what? Let me just keep playing this for a minute while I figure this out.
Because I'm a day walker, right? I'm always walking in the light. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. And that's why I always tell you, deep divers, in this day and age, you want to surround yourself with a light, because there are vampires. There are vampires out here. And that's what this film Sinners was all about. It was about reminding you, this wasn't just a film. This was an actual documentary. Because you see, everything that happened in the Deep South with racism and all of that that didn't go away, especially in those parts of Mississippi. But it was also showing you how even when your own get infected, they can turn against you. And that's what happened. So brothers became enemies. And this is what happens in a lot of urban communities all around the world. So it was a fascinating film because there were so many things to decode, so many things to break down. One key theme in this film, Sinners, was money. And this was a big theme in the film. Money could do anything and everything. They had money. They had a lot of power. They didn't believe in ghosts, vampires, but they believed in money because money showed them in Chicago you could do things. And the guy who sold them the house told them money is everything. But the hidden meaning was they finally began to realize, actually, what good is it to gain all the riches in the world, but to lose your soul in the process? And that's what this was all about. What good is it to gain all the riches in the world, but to lose your soul in the process? So the Sinners, on the billboards, it was saying how we are all sinners, right? We are all sinners. And this scene as well.
Okay, I just figured that out. That's a new feature. All right, figured that out. Okay, look at this real quick. Let me move that. If you get easily offended, get the fuck off this channel. Because I swear to God, I ain't got time for nobody bitch ass, bro. Everybody could run their fucking mouth and they get to talk all day on YouTube. But if I do that shit, I gotta go. Hell no. Get your bitch ass out of here. Straight up. But now look at this. Excuse my language. See this frequency chart? This is the science, how God created this whole universe. It runs off these principles, right? Look at that top one right there. That's hold up. Enlightenment, peace, joy, love, reason, acceptance, willingness. It start from the bottom though. Shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear. Look at fear, one of the most low vibrational things. They love to keep you in that. Desire, anger, pride. Now look at this. Right after pride comes the good ones, right? Courage, neutral. How come pride really does come before the fall, before your lowest self, your lower side? Right after pride, the fall starts. Anger, desire, fear, grief. Pride does come before the fall, okay? Now, I got to be careful talking about this. Y'all know why. But the people that infiltrated us in society that do that weirdo shit or whatever, you know, that the whole rainbow, you know, they shit is backwards. Because if you see the top right there, enlightenment is ultimate consciousness. That's where you start getting closer to God and all that stuff. That's when all these top ones is where you master yourself. That's high vibrational, high frequency. Now, the bad people took all these bottom ones, things that you're supposed to be shameful of, guilty of, grief. They took fear, all this type of stuff, and they reversed it. So if you look at that rainbow they do, this thing is upside down. It's because they want the shameful, the lower vibration of you to be the enlightenment. That's why on the left over there, you're more enlightened when you start having love for this weird shit that's going on. When you see, do you get what I'm saying? How that in the movie, the clan is saying, we're going to start a new clan based on love, but they taking the top frequency and putting it to the low vibration. If that makes any sense. They taking everything that's low vibrational and reversing it to where it's at the top. So a lot of religious people would say, yeah, the devil's trying to be like God. That's a perfect example. So he flipped it upside down. Everything that's actually enlightenment is now looked at as, oh, you trying to shame people. You trying to, you being mean to people. You doing it, everything you supposed to be mean about, everything you supposed to not put up with, they want you to put up with it. And if you criticize it, you're labeled a hate speecher or whatever the hell they want to put you. So they reverse this shit. And this is actually like psychological. This is, if you understand this chart right here, how frequency works, because some people will look at it and say, well, you could be joyful, you could love the bad things, but that's what I'm saying. If they reversed it to where they want you to love bullshit, they want you to be peaceful with shit you're not supposed to be peaceful about. That's how they flip the frequency. So now you got to love. See, and I can't even say what I really want to say, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You got to love the reading hour. You got to love the bathroom shit that they was trying to pull. You got to love all that. And if you say something about it, you're a demon. You're labeled as a bad person in society now. If that make any sense. And yeah, that's for sure bars right there. They inverting shit, trying to make people see holy. Exactly, it's inverted. Some religious people that are shallow would look at this and say, oh, the devil just wants to mock God. No, the devil is trying to feed off of God's kids. That's why the devil learned frequency and vibration. The devil, this whole planet is a high vibrational planet that would not put up with none of this bullshit. That's why when it starts getting too toxic in an area and stuff, a thunderstorm happens or a tornado happens or something, because this is a self-cleansing mechanism that we living on. It's a high vibrational planet. Don't put up with this shit. That's why everything's out of whack right now. And there's about to be a major cleanse. That's why I'm trying to tell people, hey, start raising your frequency. And I'm not saying love bullshit, because that ain't what the fuck we here for. We not here to say this. There's oneness, meaning that we supposed to accept them too. No, they're out of alignment. They don't got nothing to do with us. All this high frequency shit, this is for the people that's actually walking that narrow path and being righteous. And being righteous means changing from that bullshit, from being your low vibrational self, changing from that. Oh, Major Internet, salute. Yeah, bro, this ain't no spoiler. This will actually make you want to watch the movie even more, because we not about to, it ain't spoiling the plot. This just talking some real shit. Salute to Major Internet, by the way. Y'all subscribe to his channel. But yeah, they inverting the shit to where the higher consciousness is now placed on the low vibrational beings now. So the devil is the one that's taking the seat of enlightenment now. Okay? And this is shit they don't want me telling y'all. Okay? So listen, I'm telling y'all some real good shit. And I'm glad everybody in attendance right now. Let's continue. How did I get that off?
Even your neighbors, people outside of your house, people in your workplace. This was what this film was all about. It was showing you how it's people very close to you that can also be infected with the mind virus, with a programming.
This is why I be telling people, detach from people that's low vibrational. And I'm sick of saying that word over and over again, but some people call it evil, demonic, whatever. I don't want to put that tag on people because it's not their fault. They under a spell. So you got to detach from certain people. They not right in the head. You got to get yourself right. All right. And yeah, I don't watch movies like that either. If I do, it's going to be horror movies. So I could tell y'all what the devil's doing. Because a lot of the horror movies is putting out the truth about these fucking energy vampires and demons. Just like this movie just came out. What the fuck is it called? Until Dawn. It's like, they keep dying and coming back again, dying and coming back, just like how they want you to do on this planet. They kill you off and keep recycling people and keep here. Let's teach them how to reproduce so we could get their blood, so we could keep farming them off and shit like that. This is one big energy harvest,
which leads them to demon time. And the 1930s in the Deep South, there was a lot of racism and all of that. But the guy said, who sold them the house, that, oh, that's over. The clan isn't here anymore. You can have the house. And he was happy. The brothers were happy they got a deal. They were happy they had the house. They didn't know that grand opening, grand closing, right? And that's what he said at the end of the film, right? And you have to remind yourself that the Matrix offers you a lot of things. That was also a metaphor for how the Matrix can offer you a lot of things. It can say, hey, we can give you this, we can give you that. But if you are on a righteous path, if you're dancing with the devil, you're going to be surrounded by vampires. And it's happened to a lot of people. A lot of people have sold their souls in the Matrix, at work, to a corporation. And they know that everything they're doing is ass backwards. They know that their soul is being eaten up.
Ass backwards, like how we showed you that frequency vibration chart. Who's the one that flipped that chart upside down? Everything they doing is ass backwards. And it's because they want that. They know how this planet works. They know that if it ain't gonna work, because it'll work for a little bit until this planet say, hey, I need a tornado, aisle 7. Send that bitch and rip that bitch apart. Okay, but it worked for a little. They know how to terraform this earth to where they can harvest as much energy before it start doing shit. Then that's why sometimes they'll let it go crazy. Like they'll start feasting, and then they know, oh shit, we riling up the planet, we riling up God, we got to chill out. So then you'll notice like some time ago where they start letting things go back in order. So it's just like when you drinking too much or you got to take a week off. Because you know, hey, you keep doing that shit, your ass out of here. You gotta chill. Like, damn, I'm fucking myself up. They know how to do that, high and low.
So you got to remind yourself that that's what this is all about. Heiko, Hatsman, shout out to you. You're most definitely appreciated. And I want to hear from you, Deep Dives, if you've seen this film, because I actually saw this film today, and I actually only saw it because I do breakdowns of films. I did the Avatar, the whole series, Avatar 1, Avatar 2, and someone put in the comment section, oh, have you seen Sinners, right? So I said, wait a second, let me go and see this film, what it's about. And it was a really good film. But if you've seen this film, leave a comment about it. Because I've seen the film. If there's something that you want me to talk about, if there's something that you want to talk about, if there's something that you feel, chat yourself leaving the church and saying, hey, I want to go and be an artist, and I want to join a blues band and all of that. So,
dude, I'll tell you the only job you need to do, and I learned this from personal experience. Yeah, you could have side hustles or doing anything, but do not work no job that's making you feel like you're being drained, because that's anytime your energy being drained by something, it's them. All right, so it's because you ain't doing what you love to do. Figure out what it is you love to do. And I remember Phoenix Gym used to make videos. Do videos, put them out, even if it takes a while for it to build up or whatever like that. Because I got to basically restart right now, and I'm just. You know what? I'm gonna just say, all right, I'm putting out these videos. I don't care who sees it right now, but I'm gonna keep doing it to build this up. And in the process, do what I gotta do. But I noticed that when you really start walking that narrow path 100%, and you say, you know what, you tell whatever's guiding you. Some people believe in God. Some people believe in the Most High, the universe, whatever you call it. Tell them I'm ready. I'm about to do everything the right way. They're going to grab you and say, all right, let's go. And I swear to God, you will make it. Whatever you think, do not let your thoughts tell you that, nah, what if I need this? I need this. What if I can't pay this? Dude, they will pay that shit. Meaning that that don't mean that you just can't do nothing. Like, you put your full focus on bettering yourself, you're going to find ways. Like, it's crazy how this shit work. You'll start attracting it because they know that now you're not seeking things that you want just for your own selfishness. They know that you're trying to find your way back home now. So you might stumble across some money one day. You might have somebody reach out to you, just donate you some money. You might have, it's weird how it works. And I don't want you to hang on like every little thing I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. Like, the gist of it is, start walking that narrow path, put your whole 100% in just figuring out who you are and what's going on this planet, and doing all you can, learning all you can on how to do it. This is like a never-ending thing. Every day you wake up, you should be, all right, what are we doing next? Let's go figure this out. Let's go outside and go for a walk. Go, back into nature. And I don't like saying certain things because there's a lot of spooky people that think this shit is bad or whatever. But I ain't even fucking with people like that no more, that think eating good is bad and all this other type of shit. Because I'm showing people how to really, really do this. I really, really do this. I really walk like this. You know what I mean? And whatever your talents are, put your full 100% in utilizing them. And then ask the universe this. Ask God this. Ask the Most High this. Say, hey, how can I help other people? And you're going to start having these intuitional thoughts that tell you, well, you know how to do this. You know how to do this. Some of y'all know how to grow food. Some of y'all know how to you make videos. Some of y'all know how to make music. Some of y'all know how to do plenty of shit. Whatever it is you know how to do, start putting your focus into that. And if it's helping others become great, it's helping the overall collective vibration on the planet, God will make sure he sees through to that. Because in these times right now, if you helping people up, you're going to be guided that way. That's why I say don't do it half-hearted though. Because if you're trying to serve two masters, it's like a tug of war. You can't get nothing done. But if you just stop resisting and let go of that bullshit that we do, whatever it is, the low vibrational shit we do, walk that path. It's like you jumping on a train that's headed only one way. You got to go just one way. You can't say I'm going this way, then going backwards. You ain't gonna get nowhere.
That was also a metaphor for how a lot of people, they leave a good home, a good family. Madonna told you everybody wants to make it in Hollywood. They want to come to the neighborhood. They want to make it in the industry. And a lot of people don't come back with their soul because they get eaten by a vampire on the way. And vampires can live forever, but they have no soul. And that was also a hidden message in this film. Ever seen someone, deep divers, who's like soulless? There's nothing in there. And that's what Ryan Coogler, in my mind, was getting across, that there are people on this planet who have no souls. They're vampires. And they need your energy, your life force, to survive. That's what this film was all about. But it was also showing you how people, because the film first starts with them kind of channeling the ancestors. And that was very powerful. Once again, Ryan Coogler has this theme that repeats itself of ancestors. You had the Black Panther, which showed.
And now when they channeling ancestors, that's showing you something. Fire to One, big salute, bro. That's showing you something, that a lot of the angels and the spiritual guides that God sends down here to walk with you, to help you through this shit, because we are at a very low level. So there is people set in place in that higher dimension. Some people call it that fourth dimension that came down here to help you get the fuck up out of here. There, a lot of them are your ancestors. They're ascended masters. They're, you know, people that found themselves and was able to get up out their shit. You know, and I don't want to go too deep to spook a lot of people and shit, but there's things walking with you right now. You ever had a good thought in your mind that told you, hey, do this, but you know it was all good, and because you know it's not the bad thoughts that say, hey, do that right there, to drink that, do that. It ain't that one. That's them, the good ones. But then that bad one is these other things. All right. So them ancestors and all that type of shit, y'all, man, I'm telling you, this shit gets really deep. And for some people, it gets spooky.
The ancestors, and then you had Sinners, which begins with this artist who was singing, playing the guitar, and all of a sudden he's invoking these spirits, right? And it shows this past, present, future, the blues, rock and roll, hip hop, all of that. That was really great. But it also showed the music also attracted other people. The music attracted people who also pretended they were musicians. They pretended they were all about the music. They pretended that they wanted to come to the party as well. And they wanted to all be one and sing along to the great song.
See, that's why you got to watch out for some spiritual people that will say we all got to be one, and they're accepting like that whole ABCD EFG shit. You know what I'm talking about? Because there is a perversion to oneness. Real oneness is when you all walk in that narrow path and we start getting to that higher vibration. The vampire's idea of oneness is having good people accept bad people, and everybody's one, and we all should do this. Nah, that ain't what the fuck this channel's about.
And that was a trap. And this was a subliminal message to show you that
and
not everything that glitters.
That's not to say that you should just condemn people that's in their lower side. You should help them get up out of that, but you don't accept that shit. So that's like saying that some person is in a lower self or whatever. They say they be killing people or whatever. They be fighting a lot. Saying that I'm supposed to accept that and then let my kid be around them or some shit. No, because you're going to take my kid down. They want you to be one with everything, but that ain't the oneness that we talking about.
Glitters is gold. You know, there are a lot of people out there who believe that because they've been offered a large quantity of money in the Matrix, that everything is going to be as right as rain. That everything is going to be perfect. That everything is going to be great. But there's always a catch. And
yeah, so if it's because I've seen a lot of liberal mothers that think it's cool to let their baby choose what they identify as like 2 years old and 3 years old. I don't accept people like that because they in their lower self. See, if I wasn't, how come if I know that I have to get rid of my lower self, the demons, where the demons can get in and all that shit, to become Christ-like or start walking in that narrow path, why the fuck would I appropriate you not doing that and just say, oh, you good? I'm actually doing you a disservice. I know the truth. I'm going to stop being a low vibrational piece of shit, but I'm going to accept you for being one. Hell no. That's me lying, and I'm not going to let you pollute my goddamn family with that.
Money is not an issue. Money is not the root of all evil. But the love of money is. But as you can see, as the film is going on, they start to wake up. That actually, their soul is more important than all the money in the world, all the diamonds in the world, all the gems in the world, all the jewels in the world, right? So
the soul is the real money. They created all that shit to get your soul. That's the fake fucking money. They want the soul though. That's the real money. You are the money. That's why in the black market, that I can't get into that, but they're real heavy into the black market and they know that shit costs.
they eventually wake up to say, okay, soul not for sale. So you got to remind yourself there are so many hidden meanings in this film, so many deep messages, and it's truly fascinating. You got to remind yourself as well that the big subliminal message in this film is that it's not just people of a specific race, white people who may be vampires or anyone. You can also turn into a vampire. So Ryan Coogler was showing you that your own twin can be a vampire. And this is very important because I told you, everybody bleeds red.
And dude, this is what I've been talking about in videos too, because the more you stoop to that level, you hurting yourself. That's like it's like a picture of damn, I forgot how this shit go, but you, it's like you holding on to like somebody giving you a burning coal and you holding on to it and it's burning both. I don't know how to I just butchered the shit out that, but when you, even if you feel like your response is hurting that person, that frequency of you even entertaining, anger, or because it is a form of anger to let somebody have you respond to some bullshit they said to you. So now I get to be fed on the same shit that's eating his ass alive. Just understand that they're being eaten alive by something and they're lashing out. Now in their brain, they've been tricked to think that they're doing something that ain't that. Because obviously ain't no energy vampire gonna say, hey, I'm an energy vampire, I'm eating the fuck out of you. Here, tell the world. No, they're hiding. They don't tell their food what they doing. All right, so the person talking shit to you or doing whatever, thinking they hurting you, is being fed on by something. Even if you want to have some type of revenge, which you shouldn't, you could laugh at them just knowing that they're being eaten by a goddamn vampire or whatever you want to call it. Even that though is bullshit. You even wanting them to be hurt. Once you understand what these things is, it's hard to hate humans. I'm at that level. I can't even people that talk shit about me, I can't even hate them. I'm like, dude just going through it right now. He got something deadly on his back right now. And dude, I'm about to do a live that describe how these things is, because this is some real shit. Fire the One said, I think there's energy vampires at work. I also learned being too kind is sort of like you're a prisoner to yourself. Yeah, exactly. So this is one thing I would say. Don't be kind to bullshit, but also don't put yourself around bullshit. Now, sometimes you can't help it when it come around you. That's when you got to be like, hey, get your bitch ass the fuck up out of here. But if you constantly going around it, now you looking for trouble because you vibrating low. You want trouble now because there's something in you that wants that trouble now. You know what I'm saying? I do. I used to do. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I walk around here. I'm in a new area, so there's people. It's not ghetto around here. I'm used to it in Milwaukee, but like over here, they passive aggressive. So people yell shit out their cars. Dude, sometimes I'm walking around like, dude, I hope somebody say something to me. I want to smack the shit out of somebody. But then I got to catch myself like, oh, man, something just got me. Got to be real. Something got me, and now I got to take a walk and start breathing in some good air, cleanse up a little bit, drink some water, get this thing the fuck up out of here. Because they'll creep in through any little – you could be 99% righteous. that 1 little percent, that motherfucker will get in there. So you got to be fully sound. That's why I say you got to learn how to walk wholeheartedly, because they'll get you with any little thing. But yeah, you put yourself around anything that's gonna make you have to always talk negative or always, confront people. You doing it to yourself now because you being controlled. And it's been like, even like say you go into a chat room or something on the internet and somebody in there being a weirdo or something. You even going around them because you know that we can't hold our tongue. If you being a weirdo, I'm gonna call you a fucking weirdo. But me going around you knowing you a weirdo, now I'm being controlled too, because now I want to go there to start shit with the weirdo. So yeah, you got to remember that. Don't purposely go around people that's being low vibrational, because if you a real person, you're gonna say something about it. So get away from that shit, so you don't have to keep speaking evil, seeing evil, hearing evil. You know what I mean?
And vampires come in all shapes, sizes, and different colors. And this is another hidden subliminal message, that the vampire could be your husband, your wife, your best friend, your uncle, your auntie. It could be anyone. It could even be your twin, right? Because certain people, they get
And real quick, y'all keep coming to the channel, keep watching my videos, keep making comments and stuff. I'm gonna get y'all moderated on my channel. I just need to know who's gonna support the content, because this shit ain't for everybody. All right, there is some people that might come around and be like, okay, I fuck with Crucial, but they don't fuck with what I be talking about. I need to know motherfuckers fuck with this shit right here.
Distracted. Certain people, they get corrupted and they forget who they really are. And that was a big theme in this film, that they had to stop people who weren't themselves, right? Because she said, that's not your brother, right? In one of the scenes, that's not your brother, right? So what happens when you are attacked by a vampire? You now have to realize that actually you've lost part of yourself. And one of the only ways to kill a vampire is to stab it in the heart with a stake, right? And that's all a metaphor for the vampire has to die to be reborn.
You have to kill off that vampire in you, cleanse that thing out of you, destroy it completely. Don't do what Christians say. And I fuck with some Christians, but most of them is under this impression that you can't change from your sinful ways. You have to just accept Jesus as your savior, and that's the only thing you can do. They've been lied to. They're going to be fed the worst because they've been taught that they have to be low vibration. No, you have to kill off that. You have to start being Christ-like for real. Don't tell me that I don't have to change, because I'll smack the shit out you. No bullshit, because I know what's in you. All right, I got to be careful with a lot of that type of shit, but it is what it is, dude. If you ain't trying to, if you giving into temptations and you're not trying to change from your lawless behavior and lawless ways, you got one of them things in you. You've been taught on a mass scale that you can't even do shit about it. Don't come over here with that shit.
But many vampires don't choose to do that.
Hazy, what up? Cool Fans, what up? Cool Fan, I ain't seen Cool Fans in a long time, bro. Hey, y'all keep pulling up to the channel. I'm gonna start moderating people. I can't do it from here, but I need to know whoever gonna keep coming and supporting the content. That's who I want in charge of the moderator, because then you actually is family over here. You know what I mean? So salute to all y'all. Keep pulling up. I got videos that go in depth about this shit. All my videos is about this now. I deleted all the bullshit off my channel. Everything bullshit, I had to take it off. So everything is about how to become better, how to defeat your demons, how to expose the matrix. That's all we focused on right now. So salute to y'all. Thanks for pulling up.
Because a lot of these vampires have power But what they don't have is a soul. What they don't have is connection. So we got to remind ourselves every single day that vampires walk amongst us. And it's all about you protecting your energy from vampires.
Now, hold
It's
up.
all about
What he just said, vampires walk amongst us, and it's all about protecting your energy. So even y'all that's doing right, if you staying around people that's like that, you know the old cliche, holding hands with somebody that's getting struck by lightning, you got to go, because that thing is going to lower you down enough to feed off of you. And this how I know. The more I go around people that's not doing right, the more I got to talk shit to them. The more I got to call them out, just like Fire the One was saying. Just like I was saying to Fire the One. Get away from people that make you have to always tell them the blunt, honest truth. Get away from people that make you always have to call out they gay ass. Ooh, excuse my language. They bullshit. Okay. You too. I'm tripping. All right.
you knowing who you truly are. It's all about you knowing that vampires are manipulators, how they hack the algorithm. These are all things which are happening today.
And hold on, real quick. Some people might say, well, you got to go around and help people and help them walk. That's what you've been saying, right, Crucial? Okay, but listen to this. The people that's supposed to hear this is going to take to the message. Some people are going to listen to what you say and be like, man, get the fuck up out of here. Them people, leave them alone. Okay? The people that really, like people that watch my channel, they might not be fully righteous, but they chosen ones. They the only ones in their family that is on this type of shit. They 1 in a million. So they might not be living all the way right, but they trying to change their ways. They hear what I'm saying. They like, dude, he's onto something. People in the chat right now, they know damn well what I'm saying is real because they hear the message. Them type of people, yes, you fuck with. But anybody else that you trying to go into Sodom and Gomorrah and tell them what the fuck to do, you just as good as dead.
You have to remind yourself there are people who are even sharing messages.
Yeah, I was tripping with that.
Which you like to hear. And it sounds great, but they may also be vampires. And that's the reason why in this new world, a lot of the algorithms are controlled by vampires. Because
hold up. And he just said something crazy. The algorithm is controlled by vampires. So why you think people like me had to disappear for 3 years? Not to my own, on my own doing. They get rid of people like me for 3 years. Get rid of people. Dude, they shadow ban Infinite Waters. He's a 2 million subscriber channel. Every video he did was doing 500K. Now he doing like 50K at tops. Because he started talking about that bullshit 19 shit that was happening. And y'all know what that is, that jab and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? So the the people that's in control want to push the channels that's spreading more hate, negativity, and fear and get rid of the ones that's exposing the matrix, that's exposing them, if that makes any sense.
They can steal your energy.
Facts,
they can
Major.
dumb you down. They can lower the frequency. Because one thing that the vampires could never stand was the sunlight. And that was really a metaphor for the truth, right? A lot of vampires can't withstand the truth, knowledge. And this is how you can defeat the vampires. This is how you can defeat the vampires with knowledge, with light, with love, and all of that. So, there are so many hidden meanings, right? Well acted, but you have to always look towards the message. Once again, Sinners was not just some random vampire flick. It was laid with deep hidden symbolism. Another symbolism you have to pay attention to is that when you killed the vampire, it was still alive. It didn't die. And a lot of people don't realize that
Now, I don't even know if Infinite Water's going to say this. Shout out Corey Rapper and my boy Nando in the building. Now, I don't even know if he's about to say this, but when you kill the vampire, it doesn't die. It just comes back. This is going to y'all who want to attack humans and be like, no, that person himself is evil. No, dude, once you throw the baby out with the bathwater, that spirit is still coming back through somebody else. Don't throw these human beings away, dog. They're under a spell. We got to be more compassionate to that. If you understand how strong the devil is, then you know that then you're going to have more compassion for the people that's really falling victim to it. Anything evil somebody did was under the spell of a demon. I don't care what nobody say. How do I know that? Because when I start changing my ways, I start seeing, damn, I would never do that now. I would never get into a fight now. I would never hurt another human being now. Why the fuck did I do that? I start thinking like that. Why did I even do that? You start thinking like, what the fuck did I do that for? Because you ain't like that. No, you got that thing out of you. All right. So don't condemn people. Don't judge people. You gotta judge this spirit that's out here. And then some people say, well, that person got the spirit, and they not choosing to be that goddamn under the spell. Trust me, because if they knew better, they'll do better. That's a real saying. You know what I mean? Demonic possession is absolutely real. But a lot of Christians was told that they can't be possessed while you over there doing evil shit. But you think that you don't believe in frequency and vibration. That if you're vibrating low, there's something can inhabit you and possess you. But then you don't believe in that. That's why when you start doing better and shit, you realize, damn, I would never do that shit I used to do when I was a kid. And don't even dawn on you that, damn, it might be because you got rid of a fucking demon. Okay?
When someone has no soul, they can just merely exist. And there's a lot of people who are merely existing with no soul. So I wanted to give you that breakdown, Blue. Deep Divers.
You know that.
Sinners, phenomenal film. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. Did very good in the box office. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, phenomenal actor. And the whole cast really did a great job. But there are so many hidden.
Dog, it's just about the movie though. But Michael B. Jordan, he played two people. That fool, that's a good ass actor.
Meanings, so many layers to it, right? And like I said, if you've seen the film, I don't think a lot of people here have seen the film because I've got no comments on that I've seen the film, Ralph. Hey, I thought this about it. No one put that in there. So that just shows me a lot of people may not have seen it. But if you do get a chance to see it, remind yourself, vampires walk amongst us. And, it's all about protecting your energy as much as you can. Right. And that's how even it works on YouTube. Right. Because the thing is, life is so beautiful right now. Life is great right now. And people always say, Ralph, how were you able to rise to get a YouTube Gold Award?
Dude, yes, absolutely. Draconians, that is where these things, and I'm learning a lot about them star systems. But Draco, Drake, Dracula, this is where these things, we're like from this other star system where these things invaded from. Draconians, Draco, the Draco star system. And dude, you just reminded me because I'm about to do more content on that because I'm really past this physical stage. I'm about to start learning more about the astrological shit so I can figure out how the hell they're actually tampering with that. And now a lot of people think, oh, this is just witchcraft. They learn it. No, man, God created this shit. You think God created something that he don't want you to figure out? That's why a lot of y'all under these spells where they telling you not to look into shit. But it's just like this. Who wouldn't want you to start doing all your research and figure shit out? Because God said you're supposed to question everything because of false gods masquerading as him, lower level false gods that masquerade as the most high. Get it? That means there's things under him, her, whatever the fuck you think, There's things under the Most High. So there's a level. Oh, the frequency thing again. New levels, new devils, new levels, new gods. So you got the Most High and then whatever's under him. And you trying to get all the way up to that enlightenment stage. So you got lower level gods masquerading as the Most High, feeding off the Most High creations and the energy vampires and all that other type of shit, learning all this shit. They know how the star system works. They know when to attack, when not to attack, because they studied that shit. They know when to chill out so the storm don't come. They've created weather machines so that if a storm is about to come, they can shift it somewhere else to not hit they bitch ass. And that's going a little bit too deep. We gonna get into all that though. Y'all keep watching my channel, dude. Every video is something unlocking something else. I'm not stopping.
2 #1 best-selling books, Feel Alive 2, now available on Amazon. And it's all because you have to know your worth. And you have to remind yourself that when people are ready for the wisdom, they pay homage. They give gratitude. And when they have no gratitude,
yes, all the gematria, all the numbers and everything. This ain't evil in essence. Now it's evil because they know how to use it to attract the energy to them. But that's how God created this. This a universe of numbers, of symbols, of all type of shit. And then the harp thing. A lot of people thought that shit was just creating storms. Man, that shit was trying to divert storms. It was trying to counter, because everything these demons do is trying to lessen the counter punch by the universe. So say if the universe is high frequency and it destroys low frequency, and a low frequency being is on this planet, the universe about to smack the fuck out of them. But over thousands of years, these things knew how to crawl underneath they knew how to counteract that. So, this shit just goes really deep, but let's continue real quick.
well, it's just a vampire. Right? So that's why I always tell you, deep divers, even I'm giving you hidden symbolism, that in today's day and age, you only want to share with people who are grateful, who are thankful. If they're not, remind yourself, when people aren't that way, yes. So I'll leave you with that, deep divers. Once again,
Hold on,
join.
Gonna continue.
Make sure you have a few videos. Thank my mentor. Gratitude always wins.
Gratitude do always win.
Once again,
now, hold up. I want to expound on gratitude real quick, because this is a universal law that people do not understand. Now, most religious people or something like that, they spend their whole life asking God's forgiveness because they feel like they can't change from their ways. So they in a state of begging forgiveness. But people that start changing their ways, this go to what I was saying earlier, they start getting guided on this narrow path. They start attracting good all over and over again, to the point where you're like, you start thanking God more. You start being thankful. Hey, I changed my ways, and now I see that it's actually benefiting my life. I just manifested this, just manifested that. Not magic, not witchcraft, but God. You told the universe and God that I'm going to change my ways and just be 100% righteous, which it is hard in the beginning, because it's like a ladder. You got to climb the fucking ladder. So now you start attracting all this good shit, not shit that you want. Oh, I want them new shoes. I want that new Benz. I want that new whatever the fuck it is. You start wanting to actually help other people. So you're going to be rewarded with the things you need in life. You need a crib, you need a whip, you need, all this other type of stuff, good foods. I be getting expensive ass foods. I need that $30 fucking, that $30 drink right there. I need that cacao powder. I need that spirulina. I need that expensive shit. You're going to start getting that shit because the Most High know that shit is helping you raise your frequency and becoming more human than a vampire. All right. So gratitude, as opposed to asking for forgiveness all the time, is a sign that you're walking the right narrow path. Because most people just asking for forgiveness, you know they doing fucked up shit. Why you keep begging God forgiveness? Stop sinning, dumbass. The fuck are you doing? Are you an animal, a helpless little dumbass animal that you can't change? Now, excuse my language because I get real passionate about this. But are you a stupid ass animal that can't change from your ways? Yeah, you're in the animal kingdom right now, but you're actually a very intelligent light being that doesn't need to give into this shit. Stop being a dumbass. It's just that simple. And then once you start doing that, you don't got to ask God forgiveness, because this is why. Check this out. Why do you think God need to forgive you so much when he knows you're under a spell? You think God don't know how powerful these goddamn vampires is, these demons is? You think he gonna hold it against you personally because you can't get out of that? Now, if you keep choosing that shit, yeah, when the planet do what it got to do to wipe these things off, you holding it in your temple, you got to go too. So you should be sorry. But you think God gonna hold it against you for something a demon is doing inside of you? When you actually change your ways and you finally seen, damn, I'll never do that shit again. Damn, that's crazy. I used to be a dumbass. That's because you finally got that shit up out of you. And God is like, finally, motherfucker, let's go. You think he gonna hold that shit against you for being under the complete control of a demon? Stop it. There's nothing to ask for forgiveness once you start changing your ways. Then you start thanking God. Thank you. I finally see the light. I finally see this. Okay? Man, I just cooked.
This was a phenomenal film.
Bacon.
With a lot of hidden messages. And I took a mid-dive, deep divers.
Dude,
I didn't take a
salute
deep.
to this comment right here. Nando said, "No, nope, his mercy, his grace is everlasting as long as you repent. Real repentance, sin no more." I just did a video about this. I just put out this short on TikTok and showing you that repentance is when you change from your ways. It's not asking God forgiveness and then, oh, I'm about to go sin again and then keep doing this shit, serving two masters. Huh? It ain't that. It's actually changing from your ways and becoming realignment, which is what religion actually means, realignment, because you're out of alignment right now. It's about actually changing from that and doing all, even if you feel like you under this doctrine where you can't change, start asking God, how can I be better? How can I be better? Dude, go against the grain. Start everything you comfortable doing, get out your comfort zone. Start asking, how can I, fuck this, I'm gonna start helping myself. And then how can I help others? Stop taking from the planet. Stop taking from people. Start giving back. Offer something. You got it. You got a talent. You just like I was saying earlier, you grow food or you do anything, you don't put pesticides in it, you're gonna help the planet. So you can start selling that. You know, whatever. We going down that road again. But yes, you change from your ways.
Deep dive, right?
Don't
because
stay
once
in
again, how it works is I only go as far on the live stream as the people are ready to go. The wisdom, the gratitude, I told you, they're just consuming your energy. That's what this film was all about. It was about the originals and the.
And bro, they're taught to do that by demons who need you to keep vibrating low. That's why I was saying people got to watch out for this shit where they're implementing shit even into your religions and shit. That's why I was exposing the Nicaea Council and the all these other things, because that wasn't approved by Yahshua or the real Christ or anything like that to tell people it's okay to sin. It's not. You're feeding your soul to these demons. That's why I was saying learn frequency and vibration, dude. They come in through them portals. The frequency. If there's a radio station and the frequency is low, what you think that radio station is pumping out to you right now? Huh? And they used to just pump it through the sounds, through the subconscious. So in the music, they used to just put it subconsciously in there. So if you play a song backwards or something, you hear a fucked up ass message that your subconscious picked up on, but you didn't. your actual conscious, whatever, your subconscious picked up on it. Now they got so bad they could just put the message and the frequency right up in there. Go kill somebody. Go fuck a bitch. Go do this. Go. You know what I mean? This is how bad they got this shit going. They need you to stay in that frequency and vibration so they can feed. They're eating. They're in the room with you right now, waiting for you to do something. They're telling you, "Hey, go smoke, go drink, go do this, go knock this dude out, go this dude talking shit about you, go beat him." They telling you all type of shit to fuck with you, to keep you in that fucking vibration. Because once you do it, oh, there go the police outside. But if they can get you to just see, that's how they get through the door too. It's temptation. So, you know, you if you being taught that you can't overcome temptations, man, you really mind fucked.
Vampires. You don't give your energy to vampires. You only give your energy to the real people who are giving thanks. So Deep Divers, like I said, if there's anything you want to say, if you've seen the film, put it in the chat.
Hold up. In facts, we was just saying this with Fire to One earlier. Yes, if there come a time where you gotta get down on somebody's ass, because there's times that you might not know you slipping. You could just be walking around, somebody bitch ass to come out of nowhere because they vibrating low. Now you gotta, do what you gotta do. But when you putting yourself around shit that you know is like that, to where you gotta do that, you're inviting it. And that's where we become wrong.
Otherwise, we end the stream right now. Pluto Lion, shout out to give you a round one thing as well. From when I first started Infinite Waters, the energy from the deep divers who were first starting out, the original deep divers, totally different energy. Now I'm just riding the wave, right? But I'm just showing you that as times change, you have to realize people around you will always change. So I'm someone who is so happy I've experienced the golden age, right?
And he's talking about when you was able to go on YouTube and they was promoting more spiritual stuff, because like I said, it's a pendulum. They'll do so much wicked on the planet to where the planet got to fight them off. They know that. So then they got to back up, like, okay, we're tripping. We're about to get wiped off. Let's chill out. And then they start letting righteousness back in again. We're at an age right now where they know this shit's about to get cleansed the fuck up real soon. So they kind of backed off a little bit. They letting people talk again for a second. But, just a year ago, before my boy Trump got back up in there, they was taking off anybody speaking that real shit. They needed to promote men who don't know what the fuck they are and teaching your kids to let them choose what they are at the age of 1. That's what they was pushing. Because that the more insane they got you, the more of a feeding ground you are for them. Think about that. They can feed off people who ain't even that low. Just motherfuckers who just getting by, smoking their weed, drinking. They feed off you. Now think about how far they got. They feeding off motherfuckers. They got people don't even know what the fuck they is anymore. You don't even you damn near racist if you say there's only 2 genders. Fuck it, you ain't damn near. You are racist to people if you say there's 2 genders. How the hell am I racist? Like, they got it bad.
The golden age. If you are on Infinite Waters in the golden age, you know what I'm talking about. Now I know I'm surrounded by vampires, right? So it's all good. Right? Only the real are here. Only the real. I only connect with the real people. That's why I had to start a Patreon page. Because a lot of the information I'm sharing, a lot of people.
And Ralph sound like me. When I got banned off here, I had to start a Patreon. Dude, if you go on my Patreon, I got videos that YouTube would never fucking let me put out. I'm talking about shit that's going against, shit that if I even say, they'll be triggered by this shit. but it's exposing a lot of crazy, bloody shit. When I say bloody, I'm talking about these demons, what they feeding off of, like in the Hollywood, in the, we can't even go down that road again. Because that's what really got this channel in trouble.
Say, Ralph, I love this, but the world has become so fake. I want you to take it back to the deep diving day. So that's what I do on Patreon a lot, right? Let me say a shout out to Source Ricky. You're appreciated. I love how the brothers represented duality. Absolutely. Because that's the thing. The brothers were all about duality, showing you that it's your own people, it's your own reflection, your own shadow that can turn against you. That was a metaphor, right? Howard Cooper, shout out to you. You're most definitely appreciated.
And after all these things we saying, some people take that duality shit and think you got to accept being like that. Like, you just got to accept that you're going to be right and wrong. This is what the religious people fell under. That's why they say, I can't become fully righteous. I just got to accept Christ. You're accepting a perversion of duality when you do that. You're accepting that I got to be righteous and lawless, and I can't do nothing about it, because if I do, I'm trying to be more perfect than Jesus. You got mind fucked more than the spiritual people who believe into that shit. No, you got to change from that.
Appreciated. Let me give you a round of applause. Right. So you got to remind yourself that, there are amazing deep divers still here. Right. Amazing deep divers. Shout out to Howard Cooper. Thank you, Mental, for over 7 years. Original deep diver. And this is why I still make the YouTube videos, because there are still so many amazing souls on this platform. But there are also a lot of vampires, not just on YouTube, everywhere. The vampires are everywhere. And that's what Sinners was all about. It was showing you how, you see, the vampires started in a small group. They started in a small group. But then the singing came. A few vampires. First it was one vampire. Then it was a few vampires. Then it was so many vampires, right? And they're all singing. And this is what it was showing you, that this is what Ryan Coogler was showing you, that the Matrix is full of vampires. You're dealing with a ratio of 80 to 20. 80-20. And that's why they say many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. Majority of people are vampires. Right? And it's only a chosen few who are able to still be protected. The old guy at the end of the film who was playing, he was old right there, right? He was playing, they came in and he was still alive. That's Infinite Waters. Always protected, right? Because that's what happens when you're a chosen one. Vampires can't touch you. So this guy was actually the chosen one. That was the hidden message in the film as well. He was the chosen one, where even the vampires couldn't even bite him because his light was too strong. The guy was in that ocean trying to bite him. He couldn't even do it.
And that's the part where the demon was telling him, he started rattling off a Bible verse, and the demon was like saying it along with him. He said, dude, we got a hold of that. We know what you saying. We got a hold of that and flipped it. That's our shit. But he still couldn't bite the dude. No matter what, he still couldn't touch him. Now that's showing indicative of somebody who's really walking that narrow path. These things can't get close to you. And then when he's saying you protect it when you're in this space, is because you're somebody that's gonna help break the spell on this planet. And like I said earlier, when you start being 100% righteous, walking the narrow path, not giving into your lawless temptations and shit, God sends beings down here to watch over you and make sure you get to the destination, because so many people is lost. So one person waking up is very important to them, because now that one person could help everybody else. All right.
And even at the end, they could have bit him, but they couldn't do it. So you got to remind yourself that you got to protect yourself in these days and times.
And then just real quick, this don't mean that somebody is perfect. Now, what perfect really, what some people would say, well, I'm not perfect. Well, that's because you think you're not perfect in the sense that I still got to sin and at the same time praise God and all this type of shit, but I still got to sin. No, when you tell somebody I ain't perfect, meaning I used to be like you, but then I changed my way. Nobody coming on this bitch automatically just righteous, perfect. Now you start that way at innocence and all that, but we're so in a fallen state that it's kind of hard to get away from that, right? So don't let nobody tell you, whoever's starting to walk that narrow path, to, hey, who you think you perfect. No, I just came from being imperfect, from being a dumbass. Okay, I'm still not perfect to this day, whatever. If that's how you want to extremalize, yeah, that's a fucking word, bitch. Excuse my language. If you want to make everything so extreme to make it unattainable for yourself, go ahead and do that. Because you don't want it to be attainable. You looking for reasons to be lawless. If you at that point where you gotta make something seem so fucking extreme. Oh, you think you perfect because you're not giving in to temptations. That's extreme to you? Wow, you a demon for real.
From vampires, from people with low frequencies, low
He think he perfect because he won't pick up that blunt. He think he perfect. I don't want that fucking blunt. So I think I'm perfect.
vibrations.
Goofy ass dude.
And you got to keep your vibration high, elevated. But once again,
Bitch ass dude.
it was a phenomenal film with a lot of symbolism. This was also a symbolism to show you how they can use an old partner.
Shout out Get Your Bars Up Media. Bro, you got to run this back. I'll talk about I cooked on all levels. After this video, and I'm going to end it at like 2 hours so it could have some good replay value. But dude, you definitely a person I want to see this, because you be on that real shit.
Right? Because the vampires infected her. She infected him. And they all infected each other. So that's how it starts. It starts with someone saying, oh, yeah, I want to. She was sitting down with the vampires. She was sitting down with the vampires saying, hey, I like the sound of this. And then she went back. And this is how it begins. So you have to remind yourself there are so many hidden layers to this film that you really have to dissect and decode. But it was also showing you how they started to wake up. One of the twins started to wake up because the guy was like, hey, I got the money. And he didn't even care about the money. He didn't care about all of the things that they had promised him. He just wanted his soul back. And this is how you can really become your greatest version, when you say every single day, soul not for sale, right?
Bro, and there's a lot of people with discernment, they're chosen ones, whatever you want to call them, these people that's up, that fall victim because they want to serve two masters. They want to be on demon time too. They want to be on angel time and demon time at the same time, and you can't serve two masters. So it's people like me that come around and say, don't do that. No, don't walk two. You can't walk two paths at the same time. So some people say, well, what path am I walking when I'm doing that? Then you walk in that broad path. You still want to walk amongst everybody else. You still want to be worldly. You want to fall victim to your worldly pleasures. And even if you got that soul, you got that light, they'll keep you at I talk about this in a video called Dark City that I made. And they love the righteous ones. They love y'all a lot because you got that good blood. You got that good soul. So if they can keep you dabbling into Sodom and Gomorrah every once in a while, they can keep feeding on you. So, even there's a lot of people that was righteous that, they got to that 12th level. They went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And right before you got to that enlightenment, head got cut off because you wasn't paying attention. You wasn't trying to, you turned back to look, so to speak. In the Bible, when he was leaving they was leaving the place that was being burnt, and the bitch turned around and looked, and she got her dumb ass flamed up just by looking. So you're supposed to get to a certain level, and that 13 level is enlightenment, that Christ-like, where you start walking, in that narrow path. Some of y'all almost get there, and that's where they want you to get, because that's where your energy is getting very pure before it zaps them off. So you get to that high level to where they can keep feeding, and then once you about to get to that level where they can't feed on you no more, that's when your ass get knocked back down. But if you can get to that level, that 13 level, then they disappear. They got to flee your temple because it's too hot for them. Okay? Shout out to Pretty Divine. I ain't really seen you in here before, but subscribe to the channel. And if you did not see this whole live stream right here is cooking on all types of levels. We going places where YouTube really don't want you to go.
Every single day. And absolutely, he was also, that's a great point. Infinite Abundance AA8, he was wearing around his neck. The diamond he was wearing around his neck protected him as well. Absolutely. That was also a hidden symbolism.
Yes, if you like this type of content, I expose like demons, energy vampires, and all that type of stuff. Let me get it looking crazy. Yeah, I do documentaries. I talk about how they terraforming the earth to lower the frequency and vibration. So, you can get fed on by certain energies on the planet, how to raise your frequency, vibration, and all that shit. Breaking down movies that talk about it. I do all that type of stuff on this channel. So, yes, please tune in. I need more people that actually tune into this shit. I don't want no toxic shit on this channel unless it's exposing some energy vampire or some political bullshit that they trying to put a spell on the masses or whatever. We ain't attacking on this channel.
That the woman who was, a healer who knew all of these things and everything that was happening, she was able to protect him, and she knew what was happening, right? And it was even set in a time where they didn't even know what vampires were, but that woman knew that actually these people were soulless, right? So she gave them garlic. But this was more than just a vampire film. It was showing you that this is happening today, right now, before your eyes. Vampires are walking amongst you. And you have to protect your energy, because there are people walking around which are vampires. And if you don't protect your energy, you're also going to become a vampire.
So that go to people that's like, you start becoming the people that you attack all the time. So, when you around, even if you starting to change your ways, if you go around people and you start, we was talking about it earlier, that you'll be around low vibrational people. And if you a real person, you're going to address that shit. Be like, dog, what the fuck you doing? Because you're not going to sugarcoat nothing, right? But think about it like that. When you start having to always confront people and stuff, you vibrating at the same level as them. So you become them. You become fed on now. Now your energy low enough for these things to jump on your damn back.
So, phenomenal film. Shout out to all the deep divers out there. Once again, a big shout out to all the real deep divers out there. You're most definitely appreciated. And this was the thing. You see, when the vampires got infected, they tried to act normal. They tried to say, hey, I'm fine. I'm just, remember, it's me.
See, that's, dude, people be like that. Whenever they wrong and all that type of shit, they try to justify it. No, I'm fine. I'm wrong. I'm just doing this because it is. They gonna find a reason to justify it. Now you see how I can take some spiritual shit and some, conspiratorial shit and tell you how the psychology is behind it. That's what my channel is. It ain't nothing but merging psychology, spirituality with everything else. People would do that. They'll gaslight you. They'll say you the one that's tripping. I'm just fine. Bro, your ass is possessed right now. What are you talking about? You fine. You justifying what you doing and all that type of shit.
But there was something off about them. And sometimes you might know someone who they've just changed. They've just been caught up in the flashing lights. They're not.
Shout out my guy, Trap Buddha. Hey, bro, I was talking to Crystal like 2 nights ago, about some old shit we was doing. I still got that live with when you was up there with Cal Dawson and Black Rob Cousin and shit. But yeah, hey, dude, run this one back. I know some of the shit I be talking about, bro, be kind of weird to y'all, dude, but I be cooking, bro. You gotta see this live. And when you ain't got nothing to do, maybe you working or something, and you just got some time to kill, play this shit so that it's just in the background or something, bro. This shit is, I'm going in on this one. And yeah, I was talking to her again. I'm gonna bring her back on sometime, but I ain't want to do the messy shit on this channel. So people know my channel used to be very messy. So this, I changed my ways. I'm not trying to look back. And your name definitely came up. She was mad at you, bro. I don't even remember this how she was saying it, but she was saying like you was tripping on her or some shit on the panel. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. My fault about that or whatever. But I don't remember that part, but it is what it is. Salute to Trap. He really from New York over there with all them, So yeah, man, big salute.
Not the same anymore. Why? Because their whole mind is gone. They're on demon time. And these are the vampires. You're seeing it with the OnlyFans.
All right, my bad. Let me know if y'all can hear. Yeah, definitely technical difficulties. All right, we good now. We back. All right, let me pull this back up. Oh, okay. Yeah, I need the people that wasn't tuned into this at first. Definitely want to run this back when you got some time, because I know some of this shit be weird to people. And I ain't full of myself enough to not understand that. Like, I know. Trust me, when I was younger, dog, somebody talking this type of shit, bro, I would have been got them the fuck out my damn get the fuck out of here with this crazy ass shit. Straight up. All right, let's continue this.
Anyone can be infected by a vampire. And that's the reason why they tell you in the poster, we are all sinners, showing you that the other hidden message is that everyone is a vampire in the Matrix. And you got to get free. Because everybody has been programmed from childhood. Everybody has been infected with misinformation, with distraction. So everyone can be presumed a walking vampire.
Man, let me just say, I appreciate the people that's actually watching this right now. Okay. And I'm used to a long time ago, having a decent attendance, watching, my videos and all that stuff. When I lost that, I started appreciating the few people that still fuck with me, bro. So definitely thank y'all for tuning in, because this really good. I'm talking about this some life-changing shit that people could start changing their ways listening to shit like this and learning how this shit actually worked, man. Salute to y'all.
Studio Hate, shout out to you. You're most definitely appreciated. Let me give you a round of applause.
No doubt. Because I had asked God a while ago, how can I help people instead of just wanting to take from the planet? What can I be out for myself? And this was one of the things I got. I know some shit. I went through some shit in like 2014 where I had to change myself or it was over. And I can't go into it deep right now, but I got a hold of something higher than myself for real. And the fact that I know a lot of this shit, I got that upload overnight. Hey, if I can make videos that help people, I'm already sharing. I'm already helping people. So that one right there, when I asked God, how can I help people? Boom, that one came right to me. Dumbass, you make videos, make videos. And I don't mean to excuse my language, but y'all know my humor and shit. Yeah, Hazy, you already know. Oh, and tomorrow, if you up to it, bro, we could do that live you wanted to do. And you know how we riff on this channel, bro. It's gonna go off into all type of directions about this type of shit. So me and my guy Hazy, he supported my last channel. Dog, they took down my universe channel too, by the way. I don't know why, because it was tied to this one, but they don't even realize that I got this one back. So they like took my channel down for circumvention. So I lost 2 more channels, but Hazy was on one of them. He be talking about this type of shit too. So I'm gonna do a live with you tomorrow if you up to that. If not tomorrow, you already know I got the patience of a saint. Boy, I had to learn patience and all that shit. So yeah, we gonna do one with Hazy.
Us rise and strengthen our light. The vampire infections are everywhere today. Gratitude and love. Absolutely. Absolutely. They are everywhere. And that's what this film was showing you. Once again, it starts with the music, right? It starts with the infiltration of the music. It was showing you as well how a lot of the music it kind of attracted vampires. And this is what you have to be aware of, that the musical frequency vibration, when you're dancing, when you're in a good energy, you also attract people around you, right? That's another hidden meaning. When you're at a high frequency, you attract people of a lower frequency, aka vampires, because they're like, hey, I want some of your energy. And that's the reason why, if you take a look at the artist Selena, for example, but she had a woman around her.
All right, I don't know what it just did, but I had to switch back to the Wi-Fi, so I hope it's playing right.
Who was saying, hey, you know, I'm kind of jealous of you, kind of thing. And she was arrested, you know, for the alleged murder of her, for the murder of Selena, right? Because she was jealous of her. These are the vampires we're talking about. When you are someone who wants to improve your life, when you're on the path of becoming your greatest version, you have to realize that's the moment when you're going to attract vampires.
Yes. Now I love this part, because when you start changing your life, the most people that's going to come at you is people that don't want to change themselves. So they're going to try to knock you back down because they know you exposing them by changing your life. And now they can't justify their wrongs. They can't lie to their dumbass self no more, because now you exposing it by change. Oh, you're not even exposing them. You just changing your life. So say if I'm changing my life, like I'm going to be just real simple with it. If I stop drinking alcohol or something, the alcoholic gonna say, man, you don't gotta stop doing that. And you know what I'm saying? They gonna come out because he just got exposed. Now I'm just saying, damn, I don't drink alcohol, bro, because it's literally putting spirits in my body. I don't want to be controlled by demons and shit. Now he gotta look like a dumbass because he know he controlled by demons. So now he gotta tell me them ain't demon. Now you know what I mean? They just gotta justify and explain the shit, and you know it is what it is. And then a lot of people that's going to try to knock you back down too is some of these so-called religious people. Okay. You know, I'm more universal with my approach. I can talk to any one of y'all, anybody. I don't give a fuck what religion you is, what spirituality you is. If you got that moral compass, you're gonna transcend that division that they try to put on this planet. So say like I start changing my ways, I start eating better. You're gonna have a Christian come out of nowhere, man. You know, it don't matter what you eat as long as you say Jesus Christ is my Lord. And now he justifying himself, trying to knock you back down to that level because he just got exposed because he still eats shit. Okay? So don't let people like that, even if you got people around you that do that, get the fuck away from them. Don't even share what you're doing in your life to them because it's going to bring an argument. And now you got to go back down to that level. Okay? You see the psychology there, man? Crucial 13, Vampire Slayer. You know what the fuck it is.
When you want to do great things with yourself, when you want to go to the next level, you're going to attract vampires because they can see the light inside of you. And now they want it. So you have to remind yourself there are beings on this planet who have no life. And they can only live by stealing your energy. And this was some of the symbolism in the film as well, that they offer you a lot. You see, the vampires offer you everything that glitters. You see a lot of these lifestyles on social media, and it seems very, very fascinating. You're like, oh my gosh, I just want to be in Dubai, or I want to be in Saint-Tropez, but what you don't realize, there's a lot of vampires out there. There's a lot of vampires out there who they're going to offer you a deal. And that's what happened at the end of the movie when they offered the old guy.
Bro, I'm starting to really change what I listen to. Because not too long ago, bro, I'm listening to fucked up ass music. I'm listening to Rel Vert, to damn Skrilla, YBC Duel shit. Like all this shit that put me in a confrontational mood and wonder why I want to slap the shit out of somebody. Like the music is telling you to. Dumbass, turn that shit off. Okay? Yes, they are definitely attracted to that light. Now, this is the crazy thing. is that even people that see you trying to change your ways, them in their mind, they got to justify it because they being lied to by this demon. But this demon needs them to pull you back down so they can, because look, you like another vessel where they could jump into you now. These things, what movie was just showing this shit? The Dr. Sleep. They was showing you how like them demons was coming around all the kids and shit and sucking the breath out of them and all this. These things are like interdimensional. Like you can't see them with your own eyes, but they could jump in and out of you. The movie Fallen. I forgot who the fuck was telling me about that movie in my chat. I mean, I know about the movie, but my guy Bruce Lee was telling me, yeah, that movie Fallen is just like what you're saying. And it really is. Yeah, with Denzel Washington. It jumping body to body. These things is real. This ain't even no metaphor for your lower self or higher self or all that shit that some spiritual people say. And I fuck with spiritual people too, but in like every religion that got split up, they got perverted. So you got the truth in it and you got the bullshit in it. And the only ones that could discern between the truth and the bullshit is the motherfuckers that is universal about it. That finally get to that point like, okay, I understand morality. I understand righteousness. I understand this. Now I can discern what's right and wrong in the shit. That's why people be looking at me crazy when I'm telling them, hey, they got a hold of your good books. So y'all better be careful because that's why you don't think you could change because it got tampered with by an energy vampire that needs you to be vibrating low so they could feed off your stupid ass. And excuse my language. I'm trying to be funny about the shit, but this is very serious.
I had deal with, they said, hey, look, if you want to continue to sing, if you want to be young forever, if you want to do this, we can help you out. And he said, no, I'll rather die an old man than live young without a soul. That was also a hidden meaning. That's a Don DeMarco.
Don DeMarco.
So, you know, the film was packed with hidden symbolism. Because one of the key themes in the film were, hey, it's just me, I'm fine. You know, a lot of these vampires in the film were shapeshifters. A lot of these vampires, they pretended like they were just themselves. And sometimes you see people and they're like, hey, it's me. But they're not the same. Their energy has been harvested and hijacked. And that's what also Sinners was about, showing you.
Dude, and another thing about the shape-shifting, and this for people that know how to go off into the dream world consciously, right? Even if you ain't conscious, don't you ever be having them dreams where you'll see somebody that you know in a dream and they just turn into somebody else, or these things hijack your fucking dreams. That's where they at the most, because that's where that's what they're trying to keep you dumbed down from actually realizing is that this right here, when you up right now, like how we up listening to this, we really sleeping right now. But when you go back to sleep in your spiritual body, your astral self, your actual soul goes off into the astral world, you're under a spell too when you go out there, especially if you ain't taking care of yourself out right here. So people like me that's eating right, that's drinking water all the time. I'm talking about drink water like a dumbass fish. Like for real, really a smart fish. All right. But being healthy, getting away from toxic shit, the more I do that, the more awake I am in the dreams. You know, I'm more awake in the dream world and I'm actually able to do it. And it ain't always pleasant. That's because that dimension that you go into is where these motherfuckers is at. They govern this realm from that realm. So you piercing that veil when you go to sleep and go to that dream. But some of y'all are unconscious. Some of y'all is so unconscious, you don't even remember your dreams. Tell me I'm lying. Now, even if you ain't a person that just absolutely don't remember your dreams, you know there was a time in your life where you forgot all your dreams and shit because you was living wrong. Every time you get blackout drunk, you don't remember your dream like that. You wake up like, what the fuck? And you don't even know that, boy, you just got dragged through hell while you was asleep.
How a lot of people, they go from this to that overnight. They go from
No, yeah, you're right. In the movie that when they was trying to, they couldn't come into the place. They could not come up in there. Okay, because now this is deep. A lot of y'all let these things in by using your free will to do so. Some of y'all think free will mean God said you could just do whatever the fuck you want to do. No, that ain't free will, dumbass. It's not. Free will is you done chose. You're gonna choose yourself. You got the power right now because this is a powerful time on the planet. You either gonna choose that right path or you're gonna choose that wrong path. Red pill, blue pill, which one you want? And now if you choose them, that's when they can come back up in there. But they can't just forcefully jump on you and shit like that if you ain't willfully doing it. Now, what is willfully doing it? Eating shit food, drinking liquor, smoking, doing all to being around negative people. You willfully doing that. Now, because you listening to temptations and shit, you open the fucking door for these things. Like I said, if you vibrating low, you just opened up the whole door to your temple. Your body's a temple. You just let these things in.
Normal person
My fault, Ralph, got
to a
you really
vampire
crazy right there.
overnight.
Exactly.
Even good people. Even people who had good intentions at one point. This is what this film was all about as well, showing you how that.
And now that ain't to say that we ain't taught to invite them in, because we've been lowered so much that we living in a way where we just constantly letting these things in. Now that ain't to say a high vibrational person is gonna be dumb enough to just do this shit. They gotta lower your frequency somehow.
That even good people can be corrupted. Even innocent people can be corrupted. But it starts with that scene in the beginning showing you that the preacher's son told him, hey, don't go dancing off with the devil. A metaphor for saying, hey, don't get caught up in the fast life. Don't get caught up in everything that Hollywood has to offer you. Which is ironic because Hollywood produced this film, right? But it's really a metaphor that sometimes we can all be offered something which seems appealing, not realizing that actually that's the deal given from a vampire. And also, vampires aren't happy because in the end of the film, even the vampires admitted they weren't happy. But the old guy was happy. The old guy didn't have a lot, but he was fine. He was saying, hey, I'm happy. He was saying, nah, I'm good. I don't want your deal. Take it. I'm fine. And sometimes you got to remind yourself that you can have a little, but you can still have so much. You can have even more than the people offering you all the silver, gold, diamonds, all of that in the world. If you have a simple life and you're happy, that's the only thing that matters. And that's
Dude, when you really alive in that astral world and all that type of shit, you start having lucid dreams and shit, man. You don't care about this one no more because you know where we going to. This one right here, man, I'm telling you, I start getting rid of all my material shit. I don't want nothing. Everything I want now is gonna benefit me unlocking this prison that we call the body or whatever, your temple that is blocked up right now for your soul leaving this thing. That's another thing with the religious people. They think their soul just gonna get dragged out their body by God, even if they're not doing right. No, you have to do something here. There's a mission here you have to do to unlock that so your soul can leave. You can't fucking leave being a dumbass. You can't do that. Let me chill out with all that cussing and shit. All right. You can't leave just expecting like, okay, I didn't do nothing in this life to actually figure out what the truth is, to figure out this interdimensional side to this planet. You think you just gonna leave here to a astral realm, to a higher dimension without figuring out at least what happens in the dream world, at least figuring out what lucid dreaming is, what them realms actually is. You think you're gonna go there without figuring out how to do it here? Y'all, some of y'all gonna be so sad when this shit happens, because maybe not, because you ain't gonna even be a thought after when this shit happened. You just gonna be poof, you out of there, because you did not try to at least find God. You think that just okay, saying I love you, God, all this shit is enough. You didn't even try. You didn't have one night where you sat with yourself, eyes closed, and actually did not stop until you found something, or you won't even spend time with yourself. You don't even know what prayer is, what meditation is. Both of them are two different things. You never even figured none of this out, and you think you're gonna go there. And this to the religious people that think they're gonna go there just by saying, I accept somebody as my savior. You accept the energy vampire as your savior. Boy, y'all got another thing coming.
What this film was really showing you. That's what this film was all about, showing you that actually it all started in the pursuit of, hey, I want to make this, I want to go after this, and the fame, the riches, the fortune, all of that. But a lot of people along that journey, on the road to the riches of diamond rings and all of that, they can become infected by vampires. That's what this was all about. A lot of people don't make it out in one piece. Some people don't even come home in one piece. When the guy came home, when this guy came home at the end of the film, he wasn't the same. I mean, he made it out, but he had gone through so much trauma, right? So that's what this film was also showing you, that a lot of people, they have to go through all of that stuff.
That's why a lot of people that tell you they never been bad people and they lying like a motherfucker. You can't be on this fucking plane right here and these things ain't feeding off of you. So most of the people that actually get to them high enlightenment levels is motherfuckers that went through hell. That's why they say religion is for people who are afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for people who already been there. Now, whether you subscribe to that or not, that is some real ass shit. You know why? You know why you can become enlightened and start teaching people about this shit? Because I wouldn't know about this shit if I didn't run into them. Huh? Some of y'all acting stupid as a bitch. Like, I ain't never seen this shit. Yeah, that's why you don't know what the fuck is tricking you into worshiping it. Because you don't know what the fuck they is. Salute Convo with K. Yeah, keep pulling up. Because we about to be cooking, man. All my content is on this type of shit. But most of these people are easily tricked into worshiping false gods and shit because they don't know the devil. They won't research the devil. They won't look into what black magic is. They won't study demonology. They don't know what the fuck is leading them right now. That's why an energy vampire is teaching them that they can't change from their ways. Just accept me as your savior. You good. You can go ahead. Fuck off. Do whatever you want to do, they tell you. As long as you say sorry at night and Hail Mary this, Hail Mary that. No, Hail Mary for your ass. Hell, you bitch. And I'm kidding about that bitch part, okay? But it's see, some of y'all won't even look into nothing. You're told, just like them Democrats told you don't look into Donald Trump to keep your ass following liberal bullshit. That's why y'all ass believe that everybody could say whatever they want to be. Like a boy could say he a girl now. All this, I ain't even gonna go down that road. But they tell you don't look into the truth because they know the truth gonna set you free. Huh? Okay. So a lot of these fake religions will tell you don't even look into that. That astrology, that's that witchcraft. That nature, that's that witchcraft. But that's your key out of here when you start learning about all that shit. So you start learning what the fuck is up there manipulating it and all that shit. But then you being told this by a demon that's feeding off of you right now. And you can't discern whether it's God or the devil because you won't look into it. You won't study like God actually told you. You better start looking into everything because there's lower level gods out here waiting to intercept your ass, masquerading as the Most High. Huh? Man, this shit gets so deep, boy. I'm a psychologist, dude.
Just to realize, actually, it wasn't even worth it in the first place.
Psychologist.
But this message had so many hidden gems and jewels. Also another hidden meaning is that the woman who, kind of like an oracle, kind of like a clairvoyant, she could see that actually something wasn't right with this. Something wasn't right with these people. She was the only one that could.
Yeah, and 1010, they definitely accept that because they got that shit in them. That's that shit accepting that for them, tricking their mind into that shit. And look, do what thou wilt, bro. A lot of Christians, fake Christians, because I got some good Christian brothers that's starting to see the truth. A lot of them will say, yeah, the devil, man, they with that do what thou wilt shit. Man, they with that do what thou wilt shit. Do you do what thou wilt? You say you can't change from your lawless way. You say as long as you accept Christ as your savior, not Yahshua, as your savior, the one that actually told you to be Christ-like and start changing from your ways. Now, y'all don't believe in that Christ. Y'all believe in the other one. Telling you that you can't change from your ways and shit. And, you fall. You don't even know. You're under the do what thou wilt doctrine. That do what thou wilt with your free will, because you think free will is the ability to sin and shit. Like it's some luxury God gave you. What type of righteous person look at that like a luxury? You's a dumbass. Dude, I'm cooking and my fault about, I ain't trying to come at people or nothing like that. But it is stupid, though. I got to be real. You will sit there and say that's some demonic shit, but you was told that that's cool. I fall short of the glory. That's do what thou wilt, dummy. Damn. Now you ain't dumb. You just a little misguided and ignorant. So I'm going to have more compassionate for that. But dog, get y'all shit straight, bro. Stop pointing fingers at everybody else and look at what you doing. You the one doing what thou wilt and then saying, God, forgive me. I beg your forgiveness because you fucked up. Instead of changing your ways, seeing what God could do for you, and then thanking God all the time instead of apologizing with your sorry ass. Huh?
Spot say, actually, these people who are coming with guitars and just singing all merry, something was off. And it's about your intuition. How strong is your intuition? How powerful is your intuition? If you feel something.
Now, hold up. I know I'm pausing like a motherfucker, and it's about to end soon. But intuition, how strong is your intuition? What a lot of y'all can't hear your intuition voice because you keep falling to the temptation. The temptation's so loud because you vibrating low at a level, and you taught that shit don't even exist. I fall short. Yeah, you gonna fall short like a motherfucker when it come time. Trust me. Okay, your intuition is so blocked. Once you start cleansing on all levels, what you intake in your body, what you consume, what you watch, what you listen to, your environment, once you cleanse up all that, boy, that intuition gets strong. Or that temptation voice don't even fuck with you after a while because he know what's in there now. He can't come in there when that temple is being guided by the right beings. He can't come in there when that Holy Spirit in there. Some of y'all think that Holy Spirit just some cool shit to say. Boy, your ass is finished. Huh? Oh, I'm talking tonight. And I hope everybody replay this because, boy, there was no filler in here except for the little 3 minutes where the Wi-Fi cut off for a second. I had to reboot it. But yeah, man. If you want that strong intuition, you want the good voice to be louder than the bad voice, if you even believe that's possible with your fake religious ass, then you better start cleansing. Okay? It's possible. And I'm not coming at y'all like that. I'm just saying, bro. Some of y'all need to hear it like that. All right?
You want to trust your intuition. If you sense something about someone, you want to trust your intuition. If you feel something is off, it probably is. Ever been around someone deep divers, you're like, wait a second, something doesn't feel right. It's probably a vampire. The energy is off, right? So that's what this woman was able to decipher and decode and see that actually something was off. But this young woman said, actually, you're such nice people. I love the sound of your guitars. I love how.
See, now here goes another big thing in the movie. Them vampires was stressing about being nice, nice, nice. You know, nice etymologically means foolish, right? Anybody being overly nice is trying to ship you up the fucking river. Okay? There ain't no, I'm not coming in. Now, being kind is okay. Being a loving, peaceful, kind person, yeah. But you being nice and all that type of shit, like being overly nice. Like, look what that last administration was pushing. Be nice to everybody. There's a man in your daughter's fucking bathroom. Be nice. Huh? Hold up. Why y'all trying to be so nice? Nah, I see. No. Dude, I can't even go into that, man. Yeah, what are you doing in that bathroom with that? Yeah, shit. Let's continue.
And she's the one who got infected. So you have to remind yourself that you have to have a level of discernment that can actually be a saving grace. Anytime someone just comes around you, you don't know them from a can of paint, you have to put them through the stress test. You got to put them through the vampire test, because they just might be a vampire. They just might have already been infected. But at the same time, they're going to come to you like they're not vampires. But they need your energy to survive. That's the only way a vampire can keep living on and on. They have to find their next prey. This film had a lot of music in the film. And it was showing you that music is one of the greatest ways vampires can affect people, can infect people, and possess people. And that's the reason why sometimes you're listening to a song, but you got to ask yourself, what's the lyric saying? Because if you're repeating that mantra, now you're being infected by the vampire.
And that's real, dude. The more stuff you write down, the more stuff you repeat in your head all day and all this shit, you start creating and manifesting. Okay? Like me, the type of things I write down all day, I write thank you. Everything I got, I just write thank you for this, until the whole paper's filled up. And then what I also would write is what I want to get. Like right now, I need me an RV so I could travel and start living like place to place, because I got to be on the move. I got to start going. I'm going to start doing videos from there and all type of shit. That's my next thing I'm doing. Writing that down all the time. I need this RV. I need this nice little, I don't know if they call it mobile home, but it's like one of them nice ass RVs with the crib on the inside and all that shit. I need one of those. So writing that shit down all the time. They'll have you listening to music where you're repeating this shit over and over again and wonder why you manifesting bullshit. Like some people will listen to, maybe back in the 80s, you'll listen to NWA talk about getting their ass whooped by the police. And they'll wonder why you just got your ass whooped by the police, because that's all you thinking about now. You manifesting this shit on a whole nother level. And this is very real. Some people say that's witchcraft. They'll use on some bitchcraft. Get the fuck up out of here. Huh? Dog, this shit is real, dude. Start listening to more positive shit. Fuck the word positive. Start listening to more righteous, high vibrational shit. Because whatever you feel, you don't attract the things that you want in life. You attract who you are. You attract what you are. You attract how you feel, right? So your whole reality, if you got people constantly, beating you up or constantly, wanting to start fights with you, that's because that's what you do. That's what you want. That's how you feel. That's what you fear. You might not even be that type of person, but if they can get you to fear that, the mind can't decipher whatever, how you feel or what. It just sees this is on your mind. Okay, bring it to them, because you're that powerful of a person. You're the son of, you're the child of the Most High. You're a creator. You can create reality. You can create, and that don't mean go around demons and think you could change people. That ain't that type of reality. But you can create things based on how you feel. And so they could get, so if your mind can only decipher what is on your mind, not how you feel about what's on your mind, what is on your mind is what you're going to attract. That's why I be saying focus on good shit. Focus on what you absolutely want in your life. So if you focusing on negativity, you're going to bring that to you. Not because the devil is going to come for you because you looking at, no, because God sees that that's what's on your mind. So boom, bring it to him. Okay? Everything ain't about like this right or wrong, and not in that sense, because everything is about high vibrational, low vibrational, but it's about how you feel, what you feel, what is on your mind all the fucking time is what your reality is going to become. This is facts.
So once you stop listening to certain music which is not serving you, once you stop listening to music that's not of a high frequency, you begin to raise your frequency. Once you do away with all lower frequency music, the vampire can't infect you. Because once again, temptation lives in the night. That's when people come out. That's when the vampires come out. Looking for human flesh, human blood, it's always at the nighttime. But in the daylight, and that was a metaphor in the film, in the daylight, the vampires are nowhere to be seen. So once you're walking with the light, letting love guide you, you're always going to be protected and you're always going to be taken care of. Phenomenal job by Ryan Coogler. I had to do a little film breakdown. I haven't been to the cinema in a long time, Deep Dives, but I said, hey, someone put it in the chat. Hey, I said, let me go and see it. And let me give you a little breakdown as well. But like I told you, if you haven't seen the film, go and check it out.
All right. And we're going to end that right there. And I want y'all to please, if you ever need motivation, you ever need inspiration, somebody to kick you in the ass once in a while when you're not doing right and all that shit, listen to my videos. I'm really blunt, honest. I don't cater to people's egos. I don't say, oh, you're going to be all right. You're going to do this. Now, I will say you're going to be all right about the fucked up shit you do, but I'm also going to say you got to stop doing that. So stop doing it, and then you're going to be all right. Not you're going to be all right while you still being fucked up. Okay? Yeah, Pretty Divine. Please keep coming through, watching the content. And look, all y'all, leave comments on my videos because YouTube's going to pick that shit up eventually and start recommending it over to the algorithm. So I need it to be picked up. And I know y'all got stuff to say. Even if you don't disagree with me here and there, put it in the comments. I don't give a damn if you a hater. Say something in my comments. Push my algorithm. Hit that like button. Fire the One said, yeah, we don't actually focus on our subconscious and what's lingering in there. We just mask it with other so-called obstacles. Exactly. Your subconscious is what's leading. That's the thing they rock to sleep. Your subconscious is put to sleep right now. It's under a spell. So that's why you go to the dream world. You think it's just some dream and shit. No, that's your subconscious going where the fuck it actually belongs. But it's under, duress when it gets there and shit. Man, this was definitely pull up. We're gonna do more live streams and everything because there's people that really need to hear this. Even the people that already know better, like y'all, some of the people that take to this message, so you know better. But every once in a while, you need that message. Maybe watching a video of mine or Infinite Waters will keep you from watching toxic shit. To where because the toxic shit is going to put your mind back into a confrontational state where you're going to be vibrating at a certain level. Foot Clan, what up, fool? That's my guy, Foot Clan. All right, you got to run this back, bro. This was a very enlightening one. I'm talking about I might have covered everything there is to cover in this. We talking about spirituality, psychology, political ideology, all this shit wrapped into one. Crucial 13, the Vampire Slayer will bring it all into one. All right. Yeah, I even need a reminder. I'll be having to watch Infinite Water videos just to all right, if I feel like watching something, am I going to tune into something low vibrational or am I going to tune into something that's going to remind me, hey, get your fucking head out your ass. Stop being a dummy. I'm going to listen to the one that's telling me, that's reminding me. And this another thing. reminders is so important. Start writing down the stuff you want to do that's going to improve on your life. Yeah, definitely. Appreciate that. And we're going to do that, Chris Benoit. Hey, start writing it down, dude. I be writing this shit down on sticky notes, on just papers, just hanging it up everywhere. I'll write down like, don't worry about how things come. Just worry about what's happening now. I'll write, just things to remember, to keep you from falling, because you need a reminder. These demons know these demons know that shit works. They use the power of manifestation on you all the time. That's why every day they pushing hard to keep you looking at negative shit, because that's a reminder to be negative. Oh, here, make a new song. Listen, even if they not the ones behind the people making the music, they lowered the vibration so much that people willfully doing this negative music. So they'll take an artist from the hood or something that's talking about shooting people, and here, let's sign him so we could blast that on the radio, remind these people that they need to be killing each other and twerking. Okay? This is what they do. They use this power of manifestation. That's why I was telling y'all, all this shit ain't witchcraft. Just because you see a witch doing something that's high vibrational don't mean that that's fucking evil. Y'all would if Satan told you right now that water is bad for you, y'all would stop drinking water. You know what I mean? Or better yet, if y'all seen the devil drinking water, you would stop drinking water, because y'all is taught to project that, I never confronted myself, and I got to act like I care about this type of shit because I'm really not being righteous. So if I could act like I'm righteous, I'll start denouncing everything that I think is righteous, everything that I think is lawless. So you'll see a witch out in nature. Oh, that tree is bad because that witch. No, bitch, that fucking witch is learning how to raise the frequency for these, these energy vampires that's, feeding off life force. Their whole thing is about intercepting the life force on the planet. All right. So, don't let a witch that's drinking water make you hate water. Okay? Let's take that one with you. And let's keep in mind, dude, everything is an energy harvest. They're here to get your light. So they're going to hijack that shit and then tell you to fear it and not like it. That's why they tell you the number 13 so bad. But look at Crucial 13 just came here and cooked. And if you got a soul, did anything I tell you was bad? Anything? How anything I just said in this shit was trying to lead you down the wrong path, man. You got to have a soul to discern from that, man. You can't be no thumping ass. Oh, but this book said this. Yeah, that book was fucking hijacked by a demon. Okay, and that's not to say the book don't got some good shit in it, because, I go back to even before the book, 42 Laws of Ma'at, or, where you had to actually be righteous before some energy vampire came along and said, hey, you don't got to be righteous no more. I'll take the rap for you. You could sin all you want. As long as you believe in my name, I'll take the rap. Who the fuck would believe into some shit like that, man? Yahshua ain't tell you to do that. Oh, and I got a nice video coming about that, about Yahshua, all right, and what he really wanted you to do, all right? So, yeah, y'all stay tuned for my channel and any videos coming on my channel. And I released one right before this live started where some dude was talking about making a race war or some shit. I had to do a video about it. But, yeah, check out my videos. Check out my shorts. I make a lot of shorts. So check out the shorts. And if y'all want to subscribe to my TikTok, it's like my 5th fucking TikTok because they keep taking them down. It's Crucial 13 on TikTok. And yeah, I appreciate everybody up in here. All right. Y'all let me know too. Remember what I said. Leave comments on my videos, please. Please leave comments on the video. That's worth money to me. Even if you can't donate to the channel, you can leave a comment on the video and like the video, possibly share it. That's helping me get back into the algorithm and one step closer to where I can get monetized again and all that. But yeah, so like I always say at the end of the video, this Crucial. Y'all let me know what y'all think of in the comments. I ain't woke, I'm up. Peace, love, 13.